Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be finally checking out both the lyric video as well as the performance on the first take of MAPA by SB19. MAPA. I just want to explain, this is a little bit delayed. From what I know about this song, which is not very much, this is a song dedicated to primarily parents and people, I guess, who helped the members growing up. Without going into too much detail, I do not have a good history and relationship with my former parents. I have a lot of trauma to do with that, and I was really looking forward to this song, and then I realized that I wasn't ready. I was still processing some trauma, so I was like, I don't know if I'm, ready to react to this yet. I think I'm ready now. I'm going to assume that it's maybe going to potentially have some emotional lyrics. I'm not sure. But I just wanted to put that little disclaimer. Also, before we get into this, pause warning. I do like to pause. I like to try and talk about lyrics and talk about what's going on. So if that's okay with you guys, let's get into this. I hope the volumes are okay. There's like a wind sound or something in the background. I can't tell if I've got this set too quiet or not. Yeah, it's like a little, like a wind sound effect. Okay, so I know I've already paused, but just the way that this started, it immediately gave me almost lullaby kind of vibes. Sitting kind of, it's almost like a twist on the parent-child lullaby at night kind of situation with the beginning maybe, and it really nice start. Sorry, it was just my immediate like first thought when I heard it, and so yeah, let's restart. That's Pablo, right? Love the space in that.
Mama,
Aw.
kamusta na di na? Tayo laging nagkikita. Miss na
Aw.
kita sobra. Lagi na lang kami ang nauuna. Di ba pwedeng ikaw muna? Akin ang pangamba.
Oh, I love so far the song's talking about how the parent, specifically the mother here, has always put everyone else first, potentially yet even at their own expense, and they're almost saying that like now I'm able to take that load. I'm able to let you have a break and have a rest. I really like this so far. I really, I was gonna say as well. I wanted to talk about the fact, obviously, I can't remember when this came out. I did look, but I forgot. But obviously, with them working so hard, they were working like was it 12-hour days, like training and stuff like that. So they weren't. None of the members were probably seeing their family much at all. And so it's interesting seeing how looking at how they are now, I'm hoping that they're seeing their parents a lot more. But it's just a nice thing for me to kind of see being here. And almost the kind of, even if they're not necessarily maybe able to see one another often in person, the fact that like because of SB19's success, and especially now the kind of the solo member's success, as it were, um, being able to see your parents, being able for the parents to be able to see you in that way, um, it might be a case of like the mum might put on a performance or something, and it's like they're still there or something. I really like this so far.
Lagi na lang kami ang nauuna. Di ba
I like that it's got piano and strings in this song,
akin
but the strings are quite muted and quiet.
dahil ikaw ang
Ooh,
aking mata sa tuwing mundo'y nag-iibang dahilan
got guitar now.
aking paghinga. Kaya huwag mag-alala, ipikit ang iyong matatana. Pahinga muna, ako nang
Oh,
bahala. Labis pa sa labis ang iyong nagawa, mama. Pahinga muna, ako na. La tara tara, la tara tara.
I like the way it smoothly went from that part of the song into this.
La tara tara, la tara tara.
There's something quite uplifting about the way this part is sung. Obviously, in the beginning, I thought it was more of that kind of that twist on a lullaby. Here, it sounds even more powerful, but the vibe is different. It's almost like we've gone from lullaby to. It's almost like the words are lifting their mums up, and their parents up. I'm gonna say both because I'm sure that I don't know if they have a song for their fathers or anything. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna say, it could you can easily kind of associate it with parents generally. But the way that this is being delivered now, it's a lot more uplifting. It's more, and the melody physically feels like it feels like it's being built, and it's almost like musically it's the equivalent of swapping the foundation that their parents provided with them being able to provide for them and help them. It's very catchy as well. It's already in my head. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Nung ako'y bata pa, di ba? Aking puso yung hinanda sa mga bagay na buhay ang may dala.
I love the way that Josh is delivering that. I'm 99% sure that's Josh, just from the vocal tone. I really wanted to talk really quickly, just about the way the song has kind of been structured here. There's a kind of a technique with songwriting where you start quite intimate and then draw out. And it feels like in this case, that's what's being a little bit done here. Because in the first verse, obviously, you're born from your mom. And so it feels like because I mean, they even mentioned that kind of in the lyrics. But you started out there with the relationship with the mom, and then it zoomed out to the relationship with the father. And I like the kind of change here. We're talking about how the father is very wise and has given them advice and support. And it's interesting because I'm assuming the mum has also given support, but it's an interesting use of the songwriting technique to kind of really lean in on how much they were leaning on their mum um, in a more physical way, even from the fact like I was, born from you kind of thing. Um, but interesting here, we have this lyric about being prepared, of having their heart prepared, sorry, by their father. And it's interesting. It's almost like they're saying, Mum, you made me strong, but Dad, you made me um, kind, um, emotional, or capable of emotions. I don't know. And I don't know if that's, maybe I'm reading too much into this. But I was going to say, it's interesting if that is the case of like referring to emotions, because obviously in a lot of cases, there are certain people that always say like the woman is too emotional, which is nonsense. So it's nice to have that little twist here. But again, I love the way Josh is delivering this.
Nung ako'y bata pa, di ba? Aking puso yung hinanda sa mga bagay na buhay ang may dala. Dala ko ang iyong bawat payo at hanggang sa dulo magkalayo man tayo, ako'y tatayo pangako
Oh, the harmony.
dahil ikaw ang aking sa tuwing na ako'y
I love this part here with Ken. I love the way that obviously Ken's voice is lower, so it allows us to kind of ramp up almost to a chorus. It feels like it's doing that. But there's interesting harmonies at the top as well. I like this line, because you are my feet. It's going back to that idea that I was saying earlier about being a foundation. I like that they're acknowledging that they're standing because of them. Indeed, whoever and whomever you have that helps you when you're growing up, and it doesn't have to be a parent. It can be someone, a teacher, another parent, another person's parent, whatever. They really are the people that provide you, or hope to provide you, your kind of concrete foundation, your strength, to be able to do things as you grow up and eventually your independence as an adult. But yeah, I'm gonna go back here. I really like this. I need to stop saying I really like this. I say it too much. I love that line. You're my feet whenever I'm already crawling. Just the idea, obviously, your first steps. It's very literal, carrying a child around, being their feet when they can't move themselves. And obviously, there's also that other kind of meaning, crawling, referring to struggling. And obviously, around this time, I guess, they were probably maybe struggling with trying to make SB19 work, make sure that they could reach their dreams. And so there was an element of crawling. And so that line could easily be associated with the parental support behind the scenes, go for your dreams. We're here for you, or even just, adjacent to that kind of providing other methods of support, and compassion and stuff. I'm really enjoying this. I keep looking at the Tagalog lyrics and I'm like, oh, I don't understand them. But I keep looking at them because they're just really it's really interesting reading the lyrics, even though I don't understand them. as well as obviously reading the English, but reading them in Tagalog and hearing how they're actually said.
Paghinga, kaya huwag mag-alala, ipikit ang iyong mata.
I like that we built, but we didn't build to anything big. It kept a really
Ginagawa pa ba
calm level, if that makes sense.
ako na? Tara,
I feel like this part has built a bit more as well. I'm loving the flowers. I'm loving the artwork of this. And there's almost like a map in the background. And so you've got the paper boat traveling places. Oops, sorry. Sorry.
Di ko na sasayangin pa mga natitirang paghinga. Tutungo na kung saan naroon ng mahalaga. At kahit na kailangan
So I was gonna say that before this lyric, it was almost saying, when they were saying about I won't waste any more breaths, it was almost about, it's almost not just breaths, but taking chances, or taking risks, I should say. It feels like this part here is like, I won't make you worry, and I do have a plan kind of like thing. Especially with the I will not be lost anytime. Obviously, there are times in all of our lives where we lose track of where we're going. We can't see where we're going. And so it's that reassurance that I'm going to assume, because obviously I paused it here, but I'm going to assume that they're going to be like, we're not going to be lost because we have you, our parents.
ay di mawawala pagkat dala kong mapa. Saan man mapunta
I love that. Okay, now I understand the map in the background. Of course, MAPA. Please hold while my brain catches up. I love that, because now the lyric video's visual kind of components make sense to me. I was just thinking like of a journey going, from birth into growing up and into adulthood and stuff like that, and that journey of being parents and so on and so forth. But I get it now. It's about being appreciative of where you came from. It's about knowing where you came from. A big context for me is I'm adopted. I was adopted. And so for me, while I had a former family in my adopted family, I never felt like I was a part of that family. Especially because, and I don't want to go too much into it, because of how they were as people and how they treat me as a person and as their supposed adopted child. And that's a big thing for me is, obviously these guys have their compass, it's, I was gonna say it's on the screen, but that's more of a clock. They have their, but they do have their compass of where they came from, who they are, and they, and as someone who doesn't have that, that's a big reason why I was scared of reacting to this, because I didn't know if I could handle it. But yeah, I love the fact not only that they have released this song, but that 18 also had such a reaction to it, a positive reaction to it, because this is one of the songs that I remember when I started my journey with SB19. This was one of the songs that was recommended over and over again in my comments, and I see why. I see why. I don't think I have anything else to say right now. I'm gonna get back to this. I like this this middle 8 bridge that we've got going though.
mapa. Saan
Did you guys hear that, like the harmony in the background there? Um, when where I came from in the background, there was like a higher harmony, but again, it was mixed quite down in volume, quiet in volume, um, almost to make it take away from the main kind of vocal line less.
Wala pagkat kailangan mapa San man mapunta lang kung saan nagmula
Yeah, because you had the kind of the harmony kind of underneath, and obviously it's a high harmony, but the harmony underneath, but it was kind of in volume, it was quite close, and then they almost kind of in the mixing, they kind of almost like pushed it down a little bit, so that it wouldn't take away.
Huwag mag-alala, ipikit
Ooh.
matatana Pahinga muna, ako na
Oh, I like that effect, that sound effect.
Ipikit ang iyong matatana Pahinga muna, ako nang bahala Mas masalabis ang iyong nagawa mapa
Oh, I love it. Oh, I got the other meaning, MAPA. Oh my god, I'm really sorry for how slow I am being today. There's a pun. There's a little play on words there. I like that. Yeah, this is definitely built here. This has definitely gone up. Ooh. I love the simplicity of this animation too. Oh, and the way that ooh. Oh, I love that. I like the way that it was the C. Hello, mouse. I've lost my mouse. There. Sorry, I was like, where did my mouse go? I like the way that at the end there, in the lyrics video, it was like the boat was on the sea, and then it turned from the sea into the waveform. And it's almost like it's weird because taking, the waveform being kind of larger than the ripples that were on the ocean, or the water, should I say. Obviously, that often would more likely look with like turmoil or something, but it's interesting that they decided to go, with this. It's almost like it went from the ocean to almost like again back into that kind of lullaby, kind of reading a bedtime story almost kind of vibe. I don't know if that's intended, but it's the idea, obviously, when you're a kid and your parents read you a story or whatever, you fall asleep to the sound of the voice, and it feels like that same kind of vibe. I think what I like about this song is, yes, for SB19, and I guess for a lot of people, you could easily just ascribe it to your parents, but you can really change it to be about anyone who had played a big part in your upbringing, and who was really there for you, helped build your character, made you stronger, I really, really like that. I'll be honest, I used to really love slower songs and more, kind of mid-volume songs. As I've gotten older, my music taste has changed slightly. So this isn't my favorite, but I don't want anyone in the comments misconstruing me. I didn't dislike it. I have just enjoyed other songs a little bit more. And I think as well, it's my personal situation has affected the way I've perceived that. But we're going to see how this has developed in the first take. So maybe that'll change my mind. I know that the live performances in my head, they always elevate what I already enjoyed. So I might find that I enjoy it even more, especially as well, seeing how they've grown as musicians, as singers. And yes, so we're going to head into that. So I don't waffle on too much. 3, 2, 1, let's go. I don't know if I'll need the subtitles, but we'll see.
Goodness.
We're back. And they changed outfits. Oh, I like that. I like that jacket. It's almost like a light jacket. I'm loving the looks. I'm going back to the looks. It's interesting color scheme. I like Pablo's outfit. I think Pablo's is my favorite in this particular first take.
Grabe. We back. Nakakabingi yung katahimikan dito.
Yeah.
Bro, we back.
Wow. We're back here again.
Silent, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Too silent. Yep.
You guys ready?
We're not.
Oh, we're not.
Nervous.
You ready?
You got this.
Good?
Yeah, we good?
Okay.
You had this. You got
Let's
this.
do this.
It's weird.
Go.
Mama.
I didn't even realize it was just in the. Sorry, I didn't even realize that it was just in the start of the song. In the lyric video, I thought it was Pablo with the la ta z. I didn't realize his voice has come a long way.
Mama. Kumusta na di na? Tayo lagi nakikita. Miss na kita sobra.
I love that you can hear him smiling when he sings. It's not like because when you sing, a big part of singing is the emotion, right? You know, like it doesn't matter if you're, and I'm not. This is this is just like a general statement. It doesn't matter if you can do the most amazing vocal trills and vocal expression and technique. If you're singing a song and you're not feeling the emotion, it isn't going to hit. I already feel the song a lot more because of that smile, and because I can hear in that smile, I can hear it in the singing.
Nakikita. Miss na kita sobra.
I love the little hyping up almost there from Pablo.
Na lang kami ang nauuna. Di ba pwedeng ikaw muna? Akin ang pangamba.
Ooh, that was nice. That was so pretty.
Dahil ikaw ang aking mata. Sa tuwing mundo'y nag-iiba ang dahilan ng aking paghinga.
I will say the strings are a lot more heavier in this. When we were watching the music video, I noted the fact that the strings felt pushed down. Are the strings meant to be representative of the SB19 members, of the members themselves? And it's almost that kind of, they've gone from that, let me help you, to feeling like they're actually in a position to be able to help, if that makes sense, because of their successes and stuff. You know, because there's that element of your parents provide for you when you're a child. And so it's almost like the strings are, it feels like they're mixed differently almost to say that now we can provide for you in return or give back. I'm loving Stoll's vocals. The high notes are really, really soft. I'm really loving the glasses. I don't remember. Was he wearing glasses in the other first take? performance? I don't think he was. I'm just going back a little bit. I'm loving Pablo's little hand movements. Again, you have... Sorry, I know I'm pausing so much. Again, you had Justin with the smile, and you could hear the smile. In this, you hear the smile, but you also hear in Pablo's voice, you hear this almost... It almost sounds like relief. Like everything's okay. Everything's taken care of. You know, obviously the lyric there, I'll take care of it. But it feels like there's an element of security in what he's singing. Like he knows that he can provide, that he knows that he can give back. He knows that whatever his parents need, he's going to be able to provide. I don't know if he... I hope he feels that way, but that's what I'm getting from the way he's performing this. Even the way that he's closing his... You know, his eyes are quite... almost closed at times. It's almost like he's really thinking... I mean, I'm assuming they've performed MAPA multiple times, you know, many, many times. But here it's performed in such a way that it's almost like he's still... It's still relevant to him. It's still important to him. And so for him, he takes moments as he's singing to process that and to put that into his singing. Oh, it's pretty. I'm loving the way that... So over the first course of the course of the original lyric video that we watched, this part, I'm gonna call it the latera part, because my tongue was getting tongue-tied earlier. But this part, over the course of the song, it went from kind of more quiet, and then it got, you know, with the lullaby, and then it built up a bit, and then it built up a bit, and it built up a bit. Here, we skipped the first one anyway. We went straight into Justin's verse, and we went straight into Justin's verse, and here we've skipped all that build up, and again, it's giving that vibe of we're ready. You've done all this for us. You've taken care of us. We're now ready to reciprocate that. Obviously, I'm not saying they didn't feel that way before, but it's that, again, it's that security that they feel in themselves, that they're able to give back, that they're able to be proud of where they came from, to be proud, and to just know that they are able to give back. I'm loving the combination and the harmony of voices. The way that this has been performed, it's almost like it's not just the members. You could if you close your eyes, I imagine you could just think that it was almost a whole room of, and obviously it is a whole room, but you know what I mean? Like you could just imagine millions of voices, just because of how harmonious that their performance is. I'm okay. I said that the live performances really make me appreciate this songs even more. I'm glad that I got to hear the lyric video and then now this, because this has elevated my appreciation of this song already. This is technically my second listen, because obviously the lyric video was my first, but this has... I'm someone who often the first listen I get wrong, in a lot of cases, or that I don't appreciate as much, as I said in the previous video, with Gento, for instance, because it was also new, and everything like that. And in this case here, I was wrong. And again, like I said, I think a lot of that has to do with my own personal situation. with how I felt at the first, but then listening to here, it's completely changed my perspective. Okay, I like this song a lot more. At least you all know I will be honest with you guys. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, oh, that was really pretty. I'm really liking, and obviously this is not really a surprise, but I'm loving the way that Josh sounds exactly how he did, but more. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can tell he's matured in his voice. I love that. I love that. Ooh, still doing like a higher harmony. I love that little droning note. Oh, never. It was like it meandered like a river. Sorry, I really appreciate the differences and the developments in this song that they've chosen for this accompaniment. Sorry, I'm going to go back to appreciate Josh because it was just the shock of like, not shock, but the surprise. Oh, yes. It's interesting here. Okay, it's interesting here because in the lyric video, I felt Ken's voice was lower, yet here it feels lifted. And I love that. I'm really struggling with kind of what I want to say here, because I don't know how to how to express myself here, but I was expecting, so with the Gento first take, I was really shocked at the deepness of Philippe's voice, Ken's voice. And so I was expecting that kind of same moment here, almost. But in fact, the opposite happened, where instead of like being surprised at how low it was, I'm surprised at how actually lifted it is in his voice. Because again, I was saying at this point in the song, in the lyric video, in this point in the lyric video, his voice really allowed the contrast for the purpose of the build up to kind of the chorus that was coming. But I guess here, because the accompaniment and the style that they've kind of changed and veered towards in this version, there isn't so much a necessity for that contrast between Josh's kind of main vocal and then a lower Philippe Ken kind of deeper vocal. And so, but it's nice seeing the versatility of Philippe, of Ken here. I never know which name to use, so apologies if I refer to him as both, or with both rather. But it's nice to hear the versatility and the change up. I think it really, really works. Like, I'm not saying it's not low, but it doesn't, and I'm sorry again, I'm pausing here already, but it feels lighter. Do you guys understand what I mean? I love Stell's high note there, high harmony there. Oh, that was nice. I think what really makes me appreciate this a lot more and the growth from the lyric video to now, and is hearing the individual members and how they've grown vocally over the years, and they've developed and honed their skills. Not just from the kind of the riffing and stuff like that, but the way that they put their personalities into the song a lot more. It feels different than the lyric video did, and I like that difference. I really, really like this difference. I almost want this version on Spotify as well as the kind of, because I'm assuming that this will not be on Spotify, but I almost want this to sit as its own version, because it feels different enough that the two versions could stand together as separate kind of entities. I also really like this because I like being able to hear, particularly Justin. You guys know I'm a Justin and Stell bias. I love all of the members, but I'm a Justin and Stell bias, and I really like that in this I'm able to hear Justin's identity musically, his vocals. I'll be really honest, and this is completely on me. I didn't realize that first verse was Justin. I didn't. But the minute I heard it here, and obviously, yes, okay, I had the extra bonus of being able to see him. But watching this, I was able to really see him, and I mean that in a more way of like being able to appreciate that it was him. I'm really liking, again, the way that the song has, this version of the song has so many harmonies that feel different from the original the original lyric video. And I like that they all have their place. Again, like in the original kind of lyric video, there was harmonies, but the goal of the harmonies was to not take away from the main vocal kind of thing. And I think, even though, I noticed Stell's kind of harmonies sort of thing, and that took me away from Josh's main part, that was more from the fact that I didn't notice that if it was there in the original version that we heard. And if it was there, and if it wasn't there, if it was new, which it probably is, it was the newness that kind of took me away. It wasn't that Stell was overpowering or, anything like that. And so what I like is that they've kept that dynamic control, where the harmonies don't take away from the main vocal line kind of thing, the main vocalist doing their line at that time. But it still adds something. It's still appreciative. I still appreciate it, if that makes sense. Pablo's voice here, and this is another reason why I'm really enjoying this. Pablo's voice here, it sounds so much more open and what's the word? Clear is the word, I think. Open and clear. And again, like I've been talking about, like feeling the emotion. I can feel the emotion here. And that's one thing. As I said, I'll always be honest with you guys. I couldn't feel the emotion. I knew that they obviously had the emotion for their parents in the first song, in the first listen of the song. But this is the kind of place where I'm really hearing it. And again, that's why I really wish that like this would be on Spotify, or, you know, because this, not just to kind of uh document kind of the growth for SB19, but because as well I feel like this really serves, this performance really serves what the song is about. And, you know, beneath all of the layers of, you know, appreciation for parents and stuff like that, it's emotion, it's love, you know. And I feel like this is such a good performance. And again, this performance is really making me warm up to this song. I really, really I'm falling in love with this song.
Di ko na sasayangin pang mga natitirang paghinga. Tutungo na kung saan naroon ng mahalaga.
Yes.
Kailan pa may di mawa, wala pa
I'm excited to hear how this harmony is going to be.
MAPA, saan man mapunta lang kung saan
Come on. I love the way when you compare how close Pablo is to Stel on the mic. It's exactly the kind of thing that happened in the music in the music video, in the lyric video. Words are hard. Where Stel's note in this harmony could easily be front and center. You could easily mix and master this section and have the focus be on the money note, you know, that really pivotal, technical, you know, kind of aspect of the song. It'd be very easy to do that. And in the lyric video, they didn't do that. They put the focus on the lyric line, which I think is, again, for a song like this, it's very important. And so what I like here is, and again, comparing positioning from Pablo to Stel, Pablo is intentionally closer to the mic to be clearer to the mic, to be the focus of the song, and to be the loudest volume of the vocalists in the song, right? Stel is intentionally, I can guarantee you Stel is giving that note everything. He's not, because you can see it in his face. If he was just doing the note, he was like, you know, obviously I'm not saying that was the note, but if he was doing that, you'd be able to tell. He'd look, his posture and his body language would be, you know, or like, he's not. He's strong, you know, strong shoulders, and you know, he's singing that. The problem is, if he was at the same position, the focus of the song would then fall from Pablo delivering kind of that main vocal line to Stel. And so what Stel does is Stel stands back, allowing the microphone still to pick him up, but forcing that dynamic difference so that instead of Stel, Pablo, Josh, in kind of the hierarchy of voices, just with the angles, I don't know if Justin and Ken were also harmonizing, but so we'll just say those three for now. So instead of that hierarchy, instead what you have is you have Pablo, Stel, Josh, and you know the harmonies kind of are wavering below, which again allows that focus to be on Pablo. And again, with a song like this, if this was a song, you know, I don't know, about going partying or clubbing or, you know, having your, I don't know, having your freshers week in summer or whatever, it would make sense to have like that technical high note, that money shot, that money note, in order to kind of elevate that song from like, here's a party song to here's a party song, but there's technique and there's talent there. You know what I mean? It's that kind of show off kind of moment. And that's fine for that type of song. But with this type of song, where the lyrics, this is a heartfelt song. This is a love letter to parents, you know, SB19's parents, you know, 18's parents, everyone's parents, you know, that have that situation, and that environment. It wouldn't make sense for a song like that to be like, here is a money note. Here is a money note as our focus. Because the whole point, you wouldn't. I'm just imagining in my head a skit of like you're reciting like a letter to your parents, a letter of appreciation, and then someone just comes in and just starts, like at the top of their voice, like riffing Christina Aguilera or Stella Ajero. Sorry, I mispronounced name. Brain. Stella Ajero. And it would feel off. And so in the same way here, yes, it's good to hear Stella's emotion, of course it is, but doing it like this, I think is more suited to the tone of the song. This is the tone I was more expecting from Ken. This was more the tone. I love Ken's voice though. Ooh, the way that was so smooth. It was like da 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 da. Oh. Was there a... Hold the phone. Was there a key change in the original? Because I didn't notice it in the lyric video. Okay, I love this. First take, please let me have this. Put it on Spotify, please. Please. I'm a sucker for if you guys didn't know, I'm a sucker for high notes, I'm a sucker for unique voices, and I'm a sucker for key changes in songs. Okay, no, this performance for me has elevated this, because like I said, this wasn't my type of song, and I was, I'm very honest with you guys. I'm not gonna say that it was my favorite at the time. Now I can see what you guys see, in that. And I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm not bagging or putting anyone down for the lyric video. I'm not. Please do not misconstrue my words. Please. This for me is it. I love this. I love this. I'm so happy. And then Ken's lower part. Yes. I'm pausing because my foot just cramped. I'm really sorry. Like there, you hear? Stealth's closer to the mic. It makes a lot more sense for Stealth to be, showing his vocal prowess here. It makes sense. All of the members are closer to the mic, but obviously from what I was saying earlier, it makes a lot more sense for him to be closer to the mic now. I love, I was gonna say Ken, and then I saw Justin, where I'd paused. Sorry. I wanted to talk about the fact that, like I was saying, you can feel their emotion. I love that Ken is really he's literally, hand on heart. It's almost like as he's singing it, he's giving that promise to his parents to give back, to to be there for them as they were for him. And that just makes me so much happier. So much happier? So happy. That's what I was meant to say. I love Stell.
ako na.
I love that. Oh, his face.
How was it, guys?
That was great.
Yeah, ask me.
I felt good. How are you? How are you?
Yeah, it was great.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel it.
We all enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh,
Here.
It's always a good experience to be here.
I hope they get invited back. Genuinely, I really hope they get invited back. Okay, guys. So let's kind of recap really quickly. I really needed the first take performance to really contextualize the first listen, and to really kind of develop my opinions on the song. The first time I want to kind of like break this down lyrically and sonically in terms of their vocals and things. I loved, obviously in both kind of contexts, both the lyric video and the first take performance. My problem was, for me, in that first performance, it felt a little too sterile. And when I say that, lyrically, I love the lyrics. I love everything that they're singing about. But for me, in that first lyric video, I was like, yes, this sounds amazing. This sounds good. You know, it sounds fine. But again, this is meant to be a letter of appreciation, a love letter to parents. And when I say it felt sterile, it lacked the emotion. And maybe you guys can kind of give me some context as to what was going on regarding that. But it felt very sterile. It felt less that they were the song overall. I'm not, again, they sounded great and I loved the song. But it felt less like they were how do I put it? Felt less like they were that they were giving kind of a genuine performance, and more like they were reciting it. And I think that's the curse of the studio recording, not on them. And when I say studio recording, again, do not misconstrue me. I'm talking about the subject of studio recordings itself. You know, from when the theory of studio recordings, where the room, all of that kind of thing. I'm not saying anything about the production. Please do not mistake my words. I'm trying to make it very clear. So that's why I was kind of like, I love it. I like it. I wouldn't say I loved it at the time. I liked it. But it wasn't hitting me in the way that, say, Ila was hitting me. Or that, say, Niebe got to me a bit more. And yes, I have kind of my own personal reasons why I don't think I warmed up to it in the beginning. But then the first take completely changed my perspective. And the big reason for that is we went from that sterile studio recording aspect and we got the emotion. And again, I'm not saying that any of the vocal performances when they were, originally recorded, I'm not saying that they weren't putting emotion in. That's not what I mean. I'm specifically talking about the production of studio production in general, the waste, the kind of the physics of that, if that makes sense. Versus this, I immediately was able, yes, to see the visual emotion, but I was able to hear it in the performance. And I think what that shows is an immense amount of growth in their performance skills. I think it shows an immense amount of respect that they have for their craft. And so for me, I would have put the song from the lyric video, I would have put it at a 7 or 8. For the first take performance, that goes to a 9 to a 10. Just for context on kind of like if we were to rate it. For me, seeing this performance elevated the song to the point where, as I said, I would love this version to be released. Genuinely. I would, as like, even just as like a single thing, like by itself, I would love that. Because it was filled with so much, not just emotion, but personality. And I think, again, with a song like this, you could have all of the fanciest vocal tricks in the world. You know, Stell can pull out the highest high notes. Ken can pull out the lowest low notes. Beautiful falsettos could be thrown out in every direction. Riffs everywhere, you know. A song like this, it's not about that. It's about the personality coming across. It's about the emotion coming across. And for me, that is what elevates this so much higher. Because as I said, the lyrics, great. 10 out of 10 on the lyrics. I really loved it. I loved the rhythm of the song. I loved, I will say I preferred the first take's accompaniment, but I loved the journey that we went on musically with the lyric video. But again, for me, songs are about emotions. And I felt it so much more with the first take. And so my kind of, I hope you guys can understand and accept what I'm saying. And I hope that none of you think that I'm hating on SB19, because I'm not. I want to make that very clear. I don't want any misconstruction and strewing whatever in the comments. Because I am being very honest with you guys. I could easily, you know, say like, oh, everything was great, wee, you know. But I'm reacting to it. And if I told you that, it wouldn't be truthful. And I feel like you expect an element of truth from me. So yes, I loved the song. But for me, it was the first take, seeing them perform it live, seeing all of that motion, being allowed to be on the surface, both visually and sonically, that really clinched it for me. I think and I'm not saying that this is just limited to the first take, because I know a lot of you are saying, check out the lyric video, then check out this performance, then check out this performance, then check out the first take. I maybe will get to those performances one day. It is not on my priorities right now. But my point is, I'm sure that I'd have the same reaction with those performances too. But I wanted to be honest with you guys, because I have a genuine love and appreciation for these guys. I wouldn't react to them if I didn't enjoy what I was reacting to. I wouldn't. And so I hope you can see that in my reaction and in what I'm saying. But yes, I loved it. I can now see why you guys were all kind of really getting in the comments like, react to this, react to this, react to this. I can understand why. But yeah. So these were my thoughts. This was my reaction. These were my thoughts. Please let me know in the comments what you thought. Yeah, I hope that they're given more opportunities, not just to come back to the first take, but also to be able to go and kind of get these performance opportunities internationally. Obviously, Wish USA kind of is a thing now. I say is a thing. I don't know how recent those started generally. But you know, I hope that they are able to get more international opportunities, as well as domestic Filipino opportunities. Sorry, that's the wrong words. Domestic opportunities in the Philippines is what I meant to say. There we go. So yeah, these were my thoughts. This was my reaction. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave any thoughts and things in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone. Bye.